What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Between the Games, a short game, long talk production. This is going to be a very interesting episode, not just because it's Between the Games, but we are recording kind of a test for what's going to be the eventuality of this podcast, where me and Jess...
Hey, guys. I'm Jess.
We, and myself, Eric, we are recording digitally right now, not sitting across
distance.
Yeah, long distance, all of 45 minutes right now, but in the future it'll be about 2.5 hours apart. So we are doing a little test, and so if the audio sounds a little weird, this is why. We got new gadgets, we got new stuff, we're trying out new things to make sure the podcast continues no matter what. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be a interesting episode because it's a topic semi-suggested by my mom in her last question, but I'm like tweaking it a bit. And it's the topic of Let's Plays. Jess, being the literal target demographic for all Let's Plays, age-wise, like from the beginning.
Teenager.
Yeah, literally. What is your history with Let's Plays? When do you remember starting to watch Let's Plays? Like, who were some of your favorites growing up?
Okay. Well, I first started watching Let's Plays with my brothers. Because as this is a trend on this podcast, I'm always talking about my brothers. But I mean, they are the ones who like introduced me into video games and stuff.
Yeah.
But I first started watching Let's Plays with them, mostly Jonah though, because Jared was always track and field or like something, or just hanging out with his friends. So I started watching Let's Plays with Jonah, and we first started off watching Yogscast do Let's Plays of Minecraft.
Okay. Literally, I know the name. I've never watched.
That's fair. I like forgot that I ever watched them because it was so long ago. I was like 6. You
had to like dig deep for the memory.
Yeah. And then once I started getting older, like older as in when I was 12.
I was going to say, like, literally, the Let's Play boom happened around the time I was like going into my senior year of high school. So I like just missed the boat because I think it was like 2011 was when like PewDiePie exploded. And then like the guys that were around him kind of went up with him. The Markipliers, the Jacksepticeye's.
Yeah. Dan TDM. God.
I don't know who that is.
Sorry.
I've literally never heard of that.
He's another Minecraft one.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and that was like 2011, and then I'll go into my story later, but finish. So you're 12 now. You're 12 years old.
And I start watching. Jared and Jonah introduced me into like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, and then I had a bunch of friends who were like, "You should watch PewDiePie. Oh my God, wait, you should watch this person. Oh my God, because I'm friends with nerds.
Yeah.
To this day, I am.
Yeah.
And so I watched Let's Plays a lot until I got to high school, because those were my only ways of like playing other video games other than what I had free online or on the Wii.
Yeah,
on my Xbox 360.
That's a good just side point. Let's Plays are such a cool I don't know what happened to my mouth there. A cool way for people to experience video games. Like, there's so many games that I love, absolutely adore, never played, don't own, like just absolutely love them because of like, this was Subnautica for the longest time. Like, I loved Subnautica, never played it, and I have now. But I just like Markiplier's playthrough of Subnautica is like my like throw on whenever I have like nothing else to watch and like just wanted it in the background. And it's such an interesting way because you don't spend any money. It's YouTube. It's free. Just to experience these games.
Exactly.
It's such a weird thing. Because for me, it was like I had to go to Blockbuster and rent a game if I wanted to try it before I bought it.
You're so old.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever have walked into a Blockbuster.
That's crazy. That is absolutely absurd. Oh, man.
Did you know for the longest time, I thought Blockbuster was like bought out by Best Buy or rebranded into Best Buy?
Really? Just because the colors are the same?
Because The colors are the same. They're
Mm-hmm.
both bees, and they
Mm-hmm.
both kind of have to do with electronics.
Fair enough. And their
So
their
my brain,
yeah, their
you go.
logo is technically a tag and a ticket. So those are pretty similar, I suppose. It's not the wildest thing. Still pretty wild.
You know, I didn't understand why everyone's like, "Oh my God, Blockbuster! Oh my God!" I was like, "They're just Best Buy now. What do
That's
you
so
mean?"
funny. Oh man. If I would have found that out, like if I was your friend, I would have like been like, "Are you insane?" Like that's
Hey,
crazy.
I found it's not like this is a recent discovery. This
Yeah,
is
that's
like
true.
back when I was in seventh grade.
Fair enough. Meaning you were probably around like 12,
No, I
leaning
was. Oh,
leading back
I
into your
was.
story.
Yeah. Um, but then, oh no, you're right. It was seventh grade.
Yeah.
But then, so up until I was 13.
Hmm.
And then when I got into high school, I was like, no, I don't watch that. That's for
I'm
kids.
not a
I'm a
gamer.
teenager now.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? Like there was such a weird period of time of like even now like even when I was in high school, like that gaming was still viewed as this weird like not cool thing. And now it's like literally the cool thing to do is play video games. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like even when you entered high school, it was still this period of time where it was like, no, it's not that cool. But in the last like 3 years, which is basically the next 3 years of your high school life, was like just video games exploded.
Boom.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And like, it wasn't like I completely dejected video game,
Hmm.
not dejected.
Rejected.
Ejected, not ejected.
Rejected.
Rejected.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're all messing up here
Um,
today. This is a big test episode that everybody gets to listen to.
like I still played Super Smash Bros. With Jared because we just got the Switch.
How did you play games? Like they're all so good at Smash Brothers. It's not fun to play with them.
I would just
Fair
button mash.
enough.
I would just and I played Kirby.
Yeah, that is definitely the
I
most fun way to play against them is with Kirby.
Kirby and button mashing.
Yeah,
I didn't die immediately.
it'll get you far.
Um, but
That's
like I wasn't
so. Hold on, that's so crazy. Like, because
what?
the Switch is about to be 6 years old. 6 years old this month, and
Really?
yeah, 6 years old. And so like you saying like, oh yeah, we were playing Super Smash because we had just gotten our Switch, and this was like you freshman year of high school. I was like 3 years into college, um, like or 4 years into college. It was 2017. So I was like 4 years, 5 years out of high school, and I was like 4 years into
Yeah.
college. Oh
We
man.
didn't get our Switch until 2020.
Yeah, that
Like
was like
right
most
bef-
people. I feel like,
well no, we got it right before the
oh,
pandemic hit.
that's good timing. That's what I call that.
Yeah,
That's good
like
timing.
we got okay, technically we got it December of 2019, but
Okay.
that's not the point. The
Yeah.
point is we got it by 2020.
You basically started
Um,
playing it in 2020.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a day one
but
user. No big deal.
you hear that deafening silence?
Oh yeah, it's just us two. All you have to do is stop talking.
But anyway, yeah, it got to a point in freshman year. I was like, no, I don't like video games anymore. I'll play them occasionally, but I
Hmm.
don't want to watch Let's Plays.
Hmm.
I have better things to do, like watch 911 Lone Star with my parents.
911 Lone Star with your parents. That's the choice you made over video games?
Right? I'm kidding, Dad. If you when you listen to this, I'm kidding. I loved watching 911 Lone Star.
But there were so many good video
Um,
games at the time that you could have been playing,
yeah, but
including Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, apparently.
I got into it later though.
Yeah, that's true. You did get there, which is good.
Yeah. But then I talk about my boyfriend a lot on this podcast,
That's okay.
and I
Yeah,
realize that.
it's all good.
But he's also like a big part why I got back into video games other than you. Um, him and I, we're long distance and whatever.
Hmm.
So we have to find different ways to do like little virtual dates. and Security Breach had just come out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Another great game that I
So
love
we
that I've
were,
never played.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's me with
And
all the FNAF games except the first one. I played it. There's a video of me almost shitting my pants playing it online somewhere. I'm not going to say where, but you can go find it, and it's awful. Yeah, it's on my YouTube, but you don't know which one. I have multiple channels.
I will find them.
All right. You can tweet it from the Twitter account. But your
I've only
boyfriend.
tweeted on there once. I need to talk more on that.
That's
Okay,
all
yeah.
good. You've been
Boyfriend.
busy.
Yeah. But we had already watched a series together. We'd already watched The Walking Dead, and we were like, okay, what else do we do? Like, we need something to watch. And Markiplier was coming out with his 9-episode Security Breach
Something like that, yeah.
or video game Let's Play, and each of the episodes were like an hour long, and we're like, well, this is fun. So we watched all of Security Breach, and then we realized, man, watching Let's Plays is fun. And so we just kept watching different Let's Plays. We watched through all of Markiplier's FNAF Let's Plays.
That's a great rewatch. Those are very fun.
Yeah. We watched just a bunch of different Let's Plays together. And it got to a point where I was sitting down getting ready for dinner, and I was like, I want to watch a Let's Play. And I was like, oh, I'm back in 8th grade.
Yeah, it's very different though. That's the thing is the evolution of Let's Plays of I just recently went back and watched an older Markiplier video. Not even, I think it was from 2017. It was when he had red hair, I think. Red hair Markiplier period. And that guy is a completely different person than he is now, which is obviously 6 years ago. But the noises they would make, how loud they were. Now, I turn on a Markiplier video and I know I'm just going to have a chill time. I turn on Jacksepticeye videos now and I have a chill time. That was not a thing 6 years ago. He the high energy amount that he was outputting was absurd. And I was like, okay, I actually had to take a break from Jack because I was like, this is too much. I've always watched Markiplier stuff. I don't watch every video, but every once in a while I'm like, all right, he just started a series that I'm going to really enjoy. And this is where it's at. But so now you're back on the Let's Play life. Oh, thank you, Siri. I didn't say anything to you.
Hi, Siri. Not fully, because I've been at rehearsals until 4 o'clock. And now this week we've been here until 5 o'clock, except for Wednesdays. We get out at 3.
Gotcha. And that's why we're recording on a
rehearsals
Wednesday.
have been, yeah, rehearsals have started since January. So, had a busy life.
And you're going to have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah. On top of rehearsals, it's also my senior year. So I'm doing things like my government class, and my economics class is starts next week. But then I have my senior research paper, which is, I wish I did it on video games.
Hey, what is it on though?
You're never going to guess. That's sarcastic.
Oh, okay. Then I know. It's the mental health stuff, right?
Yeah, it's mental illness.
Yeah. So you could have done it on video games?
And why it needs to. Yeah, there's a section where it could have been video games and its effect to the teenage brain. If video games are violent and cause violence.
Yes, and no. That is the correct answer to those. Yes. Are they violent? Yes. Do they cause violence? No. that would have been my essay. I would have
Yes and no.
There you go. Here you go. Paper complete. Well, yeah. Regardless, I'm sure it'll be a good paper. But yeah, I don't worry about the show because we do have a 45-minute episode or game we can play to continue playing games and still recording stuff and not interfere with the last 2 months of your senior year that are going to be super stressful, I'm sure.
No. After March, the rest of my senior year is going to fly by.
Oh, good.
I know it already.
Sweet.
I'll only have one more show to deal with. Oh, yeah. on top of rehearsals, I'm also directing a show.
Ooh, exciting.
Um, so yeah, that's also why I've been busy.
Mm-hmm.
But after March, I'm not going to be directing
Mm-hmm.
anymore. I'll have one show left, and I won't have my senior research paper to deal with.
Nice. That's great.
So I'm I'm gonna have so much time to play video games. I'm so happy.
Yeah, that's when we can start doing these recordings, except do the full episodes where we just talk about the game. Whatever game you
Exactly.
want to do, we can do. But yeah, that's a very interesting story because I hadn't really talked to you too much about like your Let's Play uh, livelihood, I guess, or like experience because I was like, wow, yeah, she was like literally like the target demo. You know, in 2011, she was like 6 years old, 5 years old. You know, like
I
so
was 6.
yeah, so like you literally like were 2 years away from probably starting to watch Let's Plays, and then like that's that. You know, like it's like well, all right. So for me, I have a weird like you know, like I said, it started in my end of junior year, beginning of senior year. Um, I remember I still hadn't like really like leaned into what YouTube is, which is weird to think about. Like I am the YouTube guy um, of the people I know. I like
The
watch.
YouTube guy.
Yeah, I watch YouTube more than like most people that I know, and I watch YouTube so much I pay for YouTube Premium because it supports the creators that I support more than ads, and then I don't have to pay for ads or watch ads. So uh,
I'm on the family
you
plan.
are, and
Let's
it's
go.
great, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Yeah, I know people are like, "Oh, just use ad blocker." I'm like, "Yeah, but I want to support because we'll get into it. I don't watch. I have some big channels that I subscribe to, but for the most part, I don't subscribe to big channels. I subscribe to smaller channels, so the premium goes further in supporting them. But for me, Let's Plays started from a Reddit thread in like 2014, I want to say 2014, 2015, where somebody posted a video or they posted in a Reddit thread. Like it wasn't even the post of like the actual post. It was like a reply with a video of it was Banjo and Kazooie Nuts and Bolts for the Xbox 360, which I remember playing and hating because it's not a Banjo Kazooie game. It's terrible. And so I clicked on that, and it was a joke video by a guy named JonTron, who is problematic for his own reasons and stuff, but he had very funny content. And at the time, he wasn't as problematic. Started watching all of his videos, loved them. I was like, who is this guy? Where did he come from? And come to find out, I don't know if you know this because he was the original, one of the original guys on the show, but he was only there for 9 months. He has since been
Oh,
replaced by a guy who's been there since then. He was the original and founding member of Game Grumps. And
oh,
so I watched every single JonTron Game Grumps video, which at the time they did it for like one full year, and they posted 2 videos a day for one full year. And a little background: JonTron and Aaron Hansen, aka Ego Raptor, both had their own fame. JonTron from his show, Ego Raptor was a fairly popular animator, and they got together and did Let's Play videos, and it was funny. That was my intro to that, and then I finished all that stuff, and then I kept watching Game Grumps, and then on Game Grumps they had guests from Markiplier. They were friends with Markiplier. Markiplier led me to like Jacksepticeye. I dipped my toes in PewDiePie. I've never really liked him. And then the big one for me is the Game Grumps introduced me to the completionist, who is Gerard Khalil, the completionist guy who completes a game then does a review. Respect the hell out of it. He 100% like does everything in a game before even giving it a review. It's incredible. He has done like I think close to 500 games or something like that. It's wild. But he has his own Let's Play channel called Super Beard Bros, which leads me to my point. They are my favorite YouTube channel, period. Favorite Let's Play channel. It is now 3 guys. They're all hilarious. And I wanted to talk about the fact that all of my favorite YouTubers are like 30-year-old dudes who can't stop being Let's Players because it's their livelihood. And I think it's hilarious. Like they don't really want to continue doing it, but they have to because they've been doing it for 10 years and they don't have any other job kind of thing. Like that's the vibe that I get, and I love it because in reality, yeah, they have other jobs and they could probably do something else, but like they're like, I'm so ingrained in being a Let's Player,
doing this.
yeah, that I can't stop. But I just want to give a shout out to them. It's Gerard Khalil, the completionist, Alex Faciani, and Brett Bayonne. They're the Super Beard Bros, and they have a whole crew of people. They are an incredible Let's Play show. They're super funny, and I would highly recommend you go subscribe to them. If you even like my kind of humor at all, you would like them, because I was literally just watching a video before we started recording of them making a joke about like old ass songs by white people in like the 30s and 40s about, you know, like, because Brett is black and he was talking about how all these old songs like what is it? She'll be coming around the mountain. Like all those songs are like sung by white people and saying like, oh man, it's hard, but at least we're not brown. Like it was just, I was just over here like dying laughing because it's so true, because those songs are just like, they're just like, oh, well, life's still good because we're white, at least. Like that's the whole point of those songs. And it's so funny. And I was literally like dying laughing before we started recording. And that's what's so funny is like that had nothing to do with the game. They were playing Resident Evil, and it's like that's the interesting thing about Let's Plays is like some of the funniest moments aren't because of the game. And I think that's what's a very interesting like dichotomy of like the game can be funny, but typically it's the personality that's funny, and the game is just secondhand. And it's like, when, as somebody who used to do Let's Plays, it's like I would mostly try to be funny. If I was by myself, it was really hard. That's why doing it in a group is better. That's why I have respect for guys like Mark and Jack, who do just solo Let's Plays. I'm like, I don't know how people do that. It's really hard. But it's such a weird thing where it's like I remember Aaron from Game Grumps pointed out one time that like the game is like another host. It's not even like really the big thing. It's like, okay, there's a lull, let's talk about the game. But most of the time they're trying to riff and be funny the whole time. And those are typically the Let's Plays that I prefer, is like they're basically just a podcast with a game going on in the background, you know?
Yeah.
So currently, what are some of your favorites? You know, I talked a bit about Super Beard Bros, which is my favorite, but like what's your favorite Let's Play channels?
I'm going to be honest. Mm-hmm. I'm a basic bitch. I only like watch Mark and Jack.
Hey, that's totally fine. They put
one, nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, I haven't been watching recently. Mm-hmm. So like whenever, like I would love to go through and like find new Let's Play. I was about to say artists.
Bro, that would be incredible if that was the actual title, was Let's Play Artists. Oh, that's incredible. Let's Play Artists.
But like, I'd love to find other Let's Play creators, but with the time that I have when I'm at home, mm-hmm. I can't. Mm-hmm. So just being able to see like my usuals, quote unquote, and like in my subscription when I'm trying to find something really quick, is really nice.
No, definitely. I think I'm subscribed to like 50 channels, but they're not all Let's Plays. And actually, I need to unsubscribe. I'm currently unsubscribing from some right now that I haven't watched in a long time as we speak.
I was about to go on YouTube to like look at my subscriptions to see if I'm forgetting anyone.
Yeah, no, let's so we'll take like a 30-second break here too. I'm going to count all the gaming related channels because I'll count those as Let's Plays because typically, even though they're not an actual like live Let's Play, they use Let's Play stuff in their videos. So I'm gonna count all the channels that I subscribe to on YouTube that are like my uh, Let's Play / video game related channels, and you can do the same, and then we'll come back here in a second.
All right, I'm done counting then.
You're done counting? Oh my god. Okay. I'll count live then. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 16. So I'm not going to count my old channel that I am subscribed to. And like some of those I haven't watched in a while, and some of those are technically defunct, like they don't exist anymore. But I still have them just to find them and rewatch videos. Because that's the other thing I wanted to talk about after you talk about who you're actually subscribed to, because you counted them all already, is like going back and rewatching Let's Plays. But how many do you have on yours?
If we're counting that I'm subscribed to you,
Yeah, sure. It's technically a video game
3.
channel. It's 3. Okay. It's got some decent content on there, I would say. So Mark, Jack, and me, I'm in good company. That's crazy. Yeah, I next time we hang out and we're not just recording, I'll definitely have to show you some Super Beard Bros stuff. They're a good group, and if you like them, you're gonna be in heaven because they've been doing this since 2011. So they have a lot of content. So I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, Jack and Mark, I feel like are like almost the people that we could talk about this, of like going back and rewatching old Let's Plays to like feel good about it, or feel good about yourself. Do you have any of those that you can think of off the top of your head?
I just watched, like, not watched all of them, but I watched a lot of the Bendy and the Ink Machine ones that Mark came out with. Just because I have a friend who's obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're listening, but hi, Beck, if you are.
Hello. I hope you are listening.
And so I just watched it because they would talk about like, oh my god, yeah, and then oh, it's in Bendy and the Ink Machine. And I was like, oh, now I need to, so I understand what Beck is talking about to be a good friend.
That's nice. I wish more people were like that. Yeah, I haven't watched. I started watching those when they started to come out, but I kind of fell off. But I think he has a lot of backlogs, so I should check those out. Do you have any other ones that you can think of?
Not really. I just like if I find something, like when I'm scrolling through, I'll click it, and it's a lot of the like scary games that he plays.
Yeah, the 3 scary games. Yeah, that is something I'm like totally not into at all. I'll occasionally click on them, but most of them I feel like are duds. It's mostly because he's doing so many other things that these are probably the easiest videos for him to make, and they do numbers. So like, whatever. He's working on making a film.
The latest one I just watched was 3 Scary Games 98, and it's got 3.2 million views in a month.
Yeah. Yeah. He, I think he was on a podcast recently. He said he makes, the report is that he makes like $38 million a year. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense based on the fact that like this dude spends crazy amounts of money and will throw down like, during charity events, we'll just throw down like he'll match like $100,000, like no big deal. And I'm like, yeah, this guy's making money. This is crazy. But good for him. He's like he seems, I don't want to skirt the line of parasocial relationships, which could be a whole other discussion along itself. But he seems like a pretty pure person, as does Jack or Sean. But yeah, that sounds like a good one, because it's a pretty long series, right? That he played.
Yeah, I think it's like 10, 11 what's it called? Videos.
It's pretty good.
Hold on.
Because he usually does like 30 minutes to hour long videos. That's a good question actually
Yeah.
too. Like what is your preferred length of a video for Let's Plays?
It it depends. Like if
Mm,
I'm sleepy, then I want like a 30-minute one so I don't fall asleep in the middle of it.
gotcha.
But like if I'm doing something while I'm watching, then I want like an hour and a half. So I
Okay.
can have something that's consistent that like I know who it is
Mm-hmm.
and like I know what the topic is because it's always going to be the game,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because yeah, that's the thing with the Game Grumps. They used to do 10-minute episodes, and then they eventually, during the pandemic, moved to 30-minute episodes, and then moved back to 10-minute episodes, and then moved back to 30-minute episodes. I feel like 30 minutes to an hour is the perfect length for me. Um, I definitely like minimum. I like 30 minutes because my philosophy when it came to when I was making videos was like, you're not getting anything done in 10 minutes, like in a video. It's going to be like heavily edited if you're getting anything done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I agree with you with like, it is also situational. I love a nice 15-minute video right before bed. Cause I know I can finish it, turn it off and go to sleep. For going back to the original question of like videos I go back to a lot, I mentioned it earlier, is like Markiplier's Subnautica videos, which he has 83 of them. So I'll just throw that playlist on. Like it's just a feel good playlist for me. Feels like a warm blanket kind of thing. Which is very strange because I'm afraid of water, not water, deep sea. And that's that game. But for whatever reason, I think it's because Mark is also terrified of the ocean that I'm like, hey, we're bonding right now. I got you, but I am terrified with you. Um, but that one, I'm rewatching a Let's Play Super Beard Bros from like 4 years ago right now. I think
Mm-hmm.
my next video is like there's these long Let's Plays that I remember watching live or finding them in the backlog, and they just kind of sit with me, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That felt nice to watch. I'm gonna watch that again, and like the jokes still hit, the stories are still funny. Like the one I was just talking about, I was like crying laughing, and it's probably because I haven't watched this in like 4 years. But it's kind of a weird thing to think about because these are like live things that are not like huge productions or anything like that. But it kind of feels weird to rewatch, you know?
Yeah.
But like, how many times have you seen your favorite movie, right? Like a lot of
Oh, yeah,
times.
no, I've watched it like 5 times
Yeah,
in
at
the last
least.
like month, or
Yeah,
not month,
exactly.
year.
Yeah, exactly. So like why not rewatch the same Let's Plays? Um like I'm about to finish my backlog of my current favorite podcasts that I discovered like a year and a half ago. Like I'm finally going to catch up, and I'm like, damn, I don't want to. Shout out to Into the Aether, by the way. Basically the inspiration for me doing this podcast, because I was like, you know what? I got to get back into podcasts. I need to do it on video games, and I need to have a like positive take on things. And so that's why we did this video game podcast that has like a little fun spin on it. But it's like, why don't I just listen? You know, I've been listening to this for a year and a half. Like, there's no way I remember everything they said. There's no way I caught everything. But it feels weird to re-listen to or rewatch a Let's Play for some reason. But it shouldn't, because it's just like any kind of form of entertainment. I've seen the same episodes of Scrubs like a million times. So why can't I watch or listen to a Let's Play again, kind of thing?
Yeah. And it's like once you get over like the oh, it's weird to watch it again, like, and you realize, oh, hey, this isn't weird at all. Like it's like how I was with my favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like at first I was like, oh yeah, that's my favorite movie, and then someone asked me, oh well, how many times have you watched it? It's like once.
Yeah.
They're like, well, why? If it's your favorite movie, go back and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched it like a million times now, and it still gets me crying. It's still like there's new things I see every single time I see it, even
Mm-hmm.
though I think I've watched like every single inch of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like
What
once you
is your
get over
favorite
the
movie?
awkwardness of it, Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Ah, that's a good one. Yeah.
It's free on YouTube now.
Yeah, that's wild. That's crazy. And you probably don't have ads because you're on the premium plan.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
That's yeah, it's really interesting. I've just had this thought like why is that weird? But there are videos that I've rewatched and I think the interesting thing for me is because before I used to like sit down and watch these as like a TV show or like I still watch Let's Plays while I eat lunch, but even then I'm still kind of like on my phone now playing like a game or something. And before it was like a full on sit down, watch it. That's what I'm doing. I'm watching this Let's Play. And now I kind of treat them more as like podcasts. Like I'm just throwing them on while I'm working and like they're happening to the left of me on my iPad, but they're not actually like I'm not actually fully focused on them. So it's very interesting. That was an alarm. Um, it's really interesting to
Tell your
think
wife
about.
I love her.
Okay. It's 6 o'clock. Um, And for those of you in the know, it's 6 o'clock. So we have to tell my wife we love her. And so I do think it's interesting to like where here's a good question. And I have no answer for this either. But what do you think like the future of Let's Playing is? Because like how much more can you change? But like it has changed in the last like 6
Yeah.
years. It's changed drastically.
And like I feel like people's answer to that would have been like, oh, like they're going to be streaming, but like that's already been a thing. Like
Yeah.
Twitch has made it so accessible to
Mm-hmm.
be able to like watch someone sit down and play a video game.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really much more that like we can, at least in my opinion, there's not really much more that I think we could do except watch Let's Plays how they are.
Yeah.
Like obviously you can watch someone play it live.
Yeah, that's the two options, right? I would still consider a Twitch play a Let's Play. You know, like it's still they're just doing it live, and typically those go onto YouTube afterwards, anyways. So it's like, yeah. What is your preference? Do you like? Have you ever like watched Twitch streamers and stuff?
I can't. Like I used to try to,
Mm-hmm.
but I just like there's something in my brain where I just let like I'll see that they're live and I'll go on to it for a bit to like
Mm-hmm.
have their viewer count up for a second
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll leave because I can't like I'll let them put it back onto YouTube so I can watch it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times when someone's live, they talk really slow so that the live audience can hear them.
Mm.
And I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
Like I need it to be fast. I need talking to happen quick.
I get you.
My mic was about to fall.
That's a heavy mic too. That could have done some
Yeah.
damage. That's an interesting take. I really, I haven't really delved into Twitch streaming too much. I do watch the guys from Super Beard Bros because they have smaller channels, and that's usually where I like to hang out is like the smaller channels because the few times that I've interacted with like or tried to interact with bigger streamers, the community that is in the chat, I will ask a question and then just get like torn apart. And I'm like, ooh, this is disgusting. And then I'll leave and I'll go to, for example, Brett's Twitch stream and I'll have a conversation with him like through chat. And like, that's cool. I've played him in Magic. I was like watching his stream and he's like, hey, I'm going to do some users, play against some users, like throw your name up and and I played against him. Like that would never happen with these guys with like millions of like followers and whatnot. But I wish I could watch Twitch streaming more. It's just that half the time that I'm like able to, or like I get the notification and it's like, oh, this person's live. I'm like, well, I'm making dinner and I want to like sit down and watch, or it's the morning and I just woke up and I need to shower. It's just usually inconvenient. That's the problem for me. I like to be able to choose when I'm going to watch something.
That's also like a big thing because I used to watch, like British people on Twitch, and so it'd be like 2 in the morning or like 7 in the morning, and they're like, "Good night, good afternoon, everyone." I'm like, it's too early for this. I'm in school.
You keep bringing up British people on this podcast.
I don't mean to.
Yeah, I don't think you do either. I just think it's very strange that the through line of these episodes is British people. But yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like you're at school and you're like, I want to support, but I can't because I'm in class.
Yeah, like okay. I used to watch this streamer. He was like a small content creator, but he did some not good things, so he doesn't
Happen.
stream
It
anymore.
happens to a lot of them.
Huh?
Happens to a
Yeah.
lot of them, unfortunately.
But like I'd be in class when he started streaming, and this was a streamer that like I had conversations with.
Mm.
So I was like you know through chat, and I was in the Discord. So like when he was typing in the Discord, and if I like typed in a message, he would acknowledge everyone in the Discord. And so you know I was like, okay, well this is someone I've talked to. I'll just put my phone on like complete silent so that it says they have some viewers in
Mm-hmm.
there, just so that they can like you know have an audience.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I'm wasting my phone battery to watch someone play Minecraft
Yeah.
when they're just going to be putting this on YouTube anyway.
Yeah. I love the idea of watching live streams. Like I love it. I love the interactions I've had. Like I said again, with the smaller streamers, like I subscribed to Brett for like years, even though I like didn't watch him for a while. I was like, here's $5. I really like your content. And I really like you as a person. Here's $5 to pay for like a cup of coffee this month, like something like that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I love the idea. But like anytime it's kind of like a whole ordeal because I watch all of my stuff typically on the TV. I could probably do it now. I should, you know what? I'm going to make a note to myself. I'm going to try to watch more like live streams on my iPad while I'm working because then I can actually interact. But the issue was this is the whole thing that I would have to do. I used to watch like Twitch live streams in bed and they'd be on my TV. And then I would log in on my phone and then just pull up the chat on my phone and type on there. And it was just like, what am I doing? Like I have two screens right now just to interact with like one thing. And it's like the nice thing about live streams is like you're supposed to just have the laptop or the iPad or whatever and then interact as it's happening. But I was like, I have two things here and I just can't use my phone now because it's just a constant stream of chat that like I'm not interacting with, but I have it. And it's just like, this is too much. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But I
Like
should try
I used
more.
to watch the big I used to watch the big content creators like Valkyrie,
Oh, okay.
Corpse and stuff.
Hmm.
But as like you know, the like a part of my brain was like, "Oh, you need to watch like you need to read chat and watch and you need to participate in chat." And it got to a point where I was trying to do all of this all at once.
Hmm.
And it was like I was like, "Why am I doing this?"
Yeah.
Just to like not really be seen.
Hmm.
Like obviously it's not the content creator's fault.
No.
Like they're making their own living and stuff, but I was like, I'm not gonna be seen. Like not much is like happening to me personally about this. Why don't I just wait until this is online?
Yeah. And I think this is a good, I mean, like it's funny, right? Like this is kind of like a soapboxy thing. I'm gonna stand up on my soapbox and say like support small content creators. As a small content creator, it's very funny to say that, but it's true because like if somebody sends me a message or somebody replies to our Twitter, like our tweets or anything like that, I'm gonna respond to them almost immediately because I can because no one else is like responding to them, and it makes it so much more fun. Which is why somebody like the Super Beard Bros and all them, they are like my favorite content creators because you don't have that situation where it's like when you try to interact with those people, it's like, oh, you are one little stone in the ocean kind of thing. But for me, it's like,
Yeah.
if I comment on or just say like, hey, what's up, Brett? How's it going? He'll be like, oh, hey man, how's it going? Like, how's your day going? Like, because I'm not just a stone in the ocean, I'm like a rock. I'm like a boulder in a pond kind of thing. Like I'm there. He'll probably see me. It's a pond. Like he'll probably notice me. I might get missed and I might have to be like, oh, hey man, I asked you a question. and he'll be like, oh, sorry, I missed that. Like, it's way more rewarding that way. And I think, at this point, the people that are the big streamers and the big Let's Players, they don't really need the help anymore. I think Markiplier says that all the time. He's like, I make an ungodly amount of money. I don't need anything else. Like, I don't need any more help. Which, good for him. Like, I'm happy for him. But yeah, it is a very interesting, I don't know, like the question that spawned this little like side chat is like, what's next for Let's Plays? And it's like, I have no idea. Like, the only thing I can think of is like actually playing with them, which is possible, is stuff people do now in like in live streams and stuff. But it's like, what with the pre-production, like this podcast, something that is not being live streamed anywhere. I'm going to edit this and post it, like that version of a Let's Play. It's like, what's next for that? How can that get better? And I feel like it's just based off of, it's just the people. Like, the people determine how good or bad a Let's Play is going to be. But I can't think of anything that'll just like, where's it going to be? And I guess it's just more of like a wave of things. Cause like, can you try to explain, you've been watching Markiplier this whole time. Explain like how he's changed since you started watching, when you were 12 is when you said, or no, you stopped when you were 12. You started when you were how old?
7.
7. So yeah, you were watching, that's crazy, watching Markiplier when you're 7. So you're watching those videos, like how has he changed? Because that's 10 years.
Well, yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's crazy. Me and you were watching the same videos.
Arnold.
Huh?
I was in my second grade. I don't know. I was in my classrooms coloring.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna graduate.
Hey, God. See how this feels? This is how I feel all the time when I talk to you. Just bottle this up. This is exactly how I feel all the time.
This is gonna sound very parasocial.
Yeah, it's fine.
But since I like grew up watching him, I can tell you that there is a difference in how he's created his content, but I cannot tell you how exactly he's changed, because he's still like, in my brain, he's still just Mark. Mm-hmm. Like, he's still like, oh yeah, that's Markiplier. Like, he does the funny videos.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm thinking about it objectively, I think that's the word to use for it. He's definitely catering to his demographic of like, chill, just like watching for leisure, not screaming all the time. Like, obviously with the scary ones, he's always screaming.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like how Jack has moved from the slap, tap them on its eyes.
He doesn't even do that anymore.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's growing with how we grow. And I think this generation and like your generation has definitely grown to be more like relaxed and we just want to get through life.
Yeah.
And I think content creators understand that, and that's why they go with more like chill, laid back Let's Plays instead of always being like high energy and always like up, and they sound like they drank 10 Red Bulls before they started shooting.
I think he nailed it with the like, because the thing is like Mark and Jack and all of them, they're my generation. Like, they're millennials with me. Like, Mark, I think, is 4 years older than me. And yeah, it's like, as I've gotten older, it was funny because at a point I was like, man, he's calmed down a lot. And then like 2 years went by and I was like, man, I'm getting close to 30. And I was like, oh, this is why he calmed down. Like, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Cause it's like, yeah, these are 30-year-olds who have been doing this for a long time. And like, you get tired. Like, you just get tired.
Yeah.
And I think it is like what you pointed out. You were 6 and you've been watching 7 years old. You've been watching Markiplier for 10 years on and off, obviously. But there's some people who never stopped watching for 10 years. But now that 7-year-old is going to be graduating high school, and they're a lot calmer now. They don't need all the funny noises and the fart noises and the colored hair and the crazy backgrounds and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They just need somebody to entertain them. And at this point, Mark and Jack have earned the right to just be themselves. And so have a lot of other people. And I think that's kind of the evolution is people just becoming themselves more, being comfortable in themselves and not pretending to be who they aren't. And I think that's pretty important. And yeah, I think that's a pretty decent note to end on if you don't have any other thoughts to share.
Nope.
No. Yeah. So that was a pretty decent little conversation. It might have been like, minus some cutting. I don't know, maybe like 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes. Who knows? But this was a nice experiment. We're praying that the audio went well. I think it's going to be good. And next up, we haven't picked our next game. But I think once Jess is done with the month of March, I'm going to let her pick the game that we work on slowly apart from each other. And then the next time we meet, we are going to be playing Journey with my wife because it's one of her favorite games. And it's going to take like an hour and a half. And it's a really fun experience. And yeah, do you have anything you would like to say before we close out?
I was just going to say, I don't even need to finish the month of March. I just need to get through these next 2 weeks, and then I can pick.
Okay.
It is just this week and next week, and then I have spring break.
Nice. Okay. So, very cool.
More to come after 3 weeks.
Yeah. We'll figure something out. I think the next time we see each other, we'll do Journey because it's easy and it's fun, and we can force my wife to be on the podcast. And then... yeah. And then after that, we will start working on a game that we're going to do apart from each other as another test, because we got to start testing out the waters of what the podcast is going to be come August prior to it happening, so we can work out all of the issues. But that's going to do it for this episode of Between the Games, brought to you by Short Game Long Talk. It was nice to record again. It feels like it's been like over a month since we've recorded. But
I think it has.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's going to be nice because if this went well, we can do this a lot easier going forward and just do more Between the Games between episodes. But if you guys enjoyed this, please leave I was going to say leave a like, because all this Let's Plays talk has got me back into my closing, my closing send off of my old channels. Please leave a review, 5 stars, 5 out of 5, whatever the number is, wherever you are. And, I think the question this time will just be like, what are some channels you watch? What are some Let's Play channels you watch that you like, or a Let's Play that you really enjoy, like my mom asked? And going forward, you can also reply to the question on Spotify or on the post on Twitter about this episode. And you can follow us on Twitter at shortlongpod. It has been a while since I've said that. Shortlongpod on Twitter, or if you want to interact with me for whatever reason, I'm Mr. the Human. That's MR the Human on Twitter. And then
I'm still a minor, so you don't get my Twitter.
Yes, the countdown until, you don't even have to share it if you don't want to. You can completely,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe you'll make one specifically for this, or you can just interact with the Short Game Long Talk podcast like Twitter account, and maybe it's me, maybe it's Jess, you'll never know. But that'll do it. Please share it around too, because that's the biggest way to help these small channels grow, and it really does help the channel grow. I can see we're starting to, I think it's like 20 listens per episode is the average right now, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, we will see you guys in the next, hopefully full episode of Short Game Long Talk. If not, we'll do another one of these. But I've been Eric.
I'm Jess.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Later.